Here at my local sand pits, where I keep my boat, sand is now delivered by lorry all over the country, and they transport this with conveyor belt systems. But years ago they used a cable car bucket arrangement, and here where the sand is dug up, it travelled over cables in buckets over these steel pylons, now derelict of course, and you have 3 or 4 buckets travelling down to the end of the creek and 3 or 4 going back. The cable itself, well, I guess it's about 2.5, maybe 3 inches in diameter. Here the cars travelled over another pylon down to the head unit. Then it was here an operator would be, and the cable would go around a very large wheel. The cars would disengage from the cable and travel out on a rail around the head, where they'd automatically tip up into the barges below. Still on low-tech devices, this is a height warning device for tall vehicles going under power cables. It's absolutely faultless, works day and night and requires no power. I've made 1 or 2 weather vanes, but this was an unusual request for Mr. Toad of Wind in the Willows fame. It's been up now about 25-30 years, I believe. Still on the subject of low tech, the bearing on this is very simple. It was nothing more than a mild steel pointed rod sitting in a tube, and in the tube I placed a glass marble. Close to where I live there's some fine 14th century buildings. This building, Charlie Brown's, is what we call an ironmonger's, and you could buy anything there from half a gallon of paraffin to a repair kit for mending a hole in your saucepan or cooking pot. A far cry from today's modern stores, where things are in bubble packs, and if you want 6 you can only find 5 at some exorbitant cost. During the siege of Colchester in 1648, this fine Tudor building shows evidence of the conflict. The red circles in the wall are musket ball fire. Next door to this building there's a flour mill. It sits on the River Colne, and the river now is enjoyed by these ducks, and it's all overgrown and silted up, although this part is tidal. But when it was used for traffic, barges would be sailed down this river. As I say, it wasn't overgrown then, it would be wider and dredged, and they would sail up here to the mill, and then in order to get under the bridge at the last minute they would drop their sails and rigging and pole themselves underneath the bridge. They had to time it right. If they were too early they didn't have enough water to navigate, and if they left it too late they wouldn't have got under the bridge. This is the mill that they unloaded all their grain. Today it's turned into flats and apartments and is privately owned by individuals. But at one time this was a thriving concern. This is the bridge that the barges had to negotiate. As you can see, there's not a lot of room, and once on this side, the mill side, after discharging their cargo, they could turn round. Again, the bay at the end here would have been much larger and not overgrown like it is today. Many such old buildings have a flying jetty where the living area above is larger than the footprint that the building stands on. This is quite common practice of the time.
Hi Ted, just a quick update on the aerial coil. I made a fitting for the whip you gave me, and I'm very pleased with that. And Ed gave me a nice copper pipe, and how's that for a fit? So I'm really chuffed with this. So we're pretty much there. But I'm not too happy about the beryllium, or whatever it is, contact for the coil. I was half thinking of using the helix of the coil as the thread and turning the former so it goes up and down that way with a wiping contact. Anyway, give us a buzz, let us know what you think.